Hi everyone, welcome to our launch party for the monthly journaling club. My name is Kelsey Lee and I am so excited that you are here and we are going to just have a great time of journaling together, hanging out, launching the new year. It is going to be a really fun time. So do say hello in the chat. I see some of you already sharing your names and where you're coming in from. We have Arizona, Australia, Kansas, New Jersey, California, so many places. I always love that aspect of live streams, just seeing where everybody is tuning in from. I am in Pennsylvania, if you are curious. That is my neck of the woods. And hello, Grace and Sherry and Rebecca and Lisa and Paige and Caroline, Elizabeth, Righty, Janie. So good to see you all. We have lots of Canada. That's so fun. So yeah, I am so excited for this launch of something I've been doing for a long time, but I'm really excited to now be doing it in community with all of you. Do let me know, by the way, if you can hear me okay, if everything's coming through all right. I usually like to check my sound. Just make sure it's working. Okay, I can hear it. That's always good to know before I start just talking into the ether. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, so this is something many of you know I've been doing for a long time, is monthly journaling, and I've done it in different formats throughout the years. I've done it where it's just been in my regular journal and where I kind of just do wrap up pages at the beginning of the journal and then do daily pages throughout the rest of the journal. I've done it where it's kind of the end of each month, you just throw one in, and you can do that in a planner. That's a really great way to do it. But then I've decided in this last year to dedicate an entire journal to month in review pages. So that way this journal becomes my highlights reel of my life. So multiple years will be in this one journal. And so far we have 2023 in the books. We have that one here, and I'll do a quick little flip through of it. I'm still finishing December. It's not quite done yet. But that's the nice thing about month in review pages is you don't have to do it by a specific timeline. You can kind of take your time with it. And so I'll be finishing this up probably tomorrow. But today what I wanted to do is really kickstart the new year with you all by doing a few entries in this journal that are going to reflect on our previous year, because I do like to have a few yearly highlights pages like my books in review. So I have those printed out for this year, as well as just some reflection questions, which is really helpful because we have prompts from our January journal collection for the stickers available on Patreon. I'm going to be using some of those prompts to do some reflection on the previous year. And then I want to just set up a few pages to kickstart the new year, a nice cover page for 2024. And also I have this idea to do a 25 by 2025 list of like all these things that I've been wanting to do but have been putting off. So creating a list of that I can be checking off each time I'm checking in with my journal. So those are just a few pages that I will set up right now to kickstart the new year. And then every single month I will return to this journal and flip to a blank page and do 1 month in review. And then the next month we'll do another month, and so on and so forth until we have 12 pages that wrap up our entire year. So I would love to know if you all are planning on trying this form of journaling this year. If you've already done it, I'd love to know that. Or if this is a new practice for you, let us know that too in the chat. I would just love to know how you guys are feeling about getting started with this practice, and whether you are planning to do it in its own journal like I do, or if you are planning on trying to do it in an existing journal. Maybe you already do a memory keeping journal and you're just going to put it in there at the end of each month, or maybe you have a planner. I'm using the Common Planner this year. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be talking about that in an upcoming video. But there's some really great places in planners where you could do a month in review page, just kind of wrap up some of your highlights and your memories, so that way you have them recorded. There is no right or wrong way to do it. The whole idea is just making sure that your life, your beautiful, beautiful life, is documented in some way. And the best part is that because it's only one page a month, it's a really sustainable practice. And with this community, I'm hoping that it'll also be really encouraging, and we'll all be able to keep each other accountable, because we will have a place where we can get together and meet once a month and be able to journal together. So that's going to be the first Thursday of every single month. We are going to get together at this time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will be working on our month in review spreads together. So it also will be a fun community aspect, because we can kind of be commenting and talking in the chat about how our months went, what some of our highlights were, you know, something exciting we did, something we're proud of, and we can just be encouraging each other about the previous month and looking forward to the next month all together. So if you want to be part of those future live streams and to join the monthly journaling club, if you haven't already, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/myabidingjournal and sign up there. It's completely free. Just hit the join for free button and you'll be able to sign up. And that way you'll be able to participate in the future live streams. We're doing the launch party on YouTube and on Patreon so that more people can learn about the club. But those future live streams I'm going to be doing on Patreon. So that's the way to get access to the live streams. Again, it's free. And when you join, you'll also get access to some really fun printables. And one of them, so I have a few freebie printables over there. And one of them is this one that I made for the monthly journaling club. So this is, of course, 2024. We have our little monthly journaling club logo on it. And then if you want to, you can use these little month tabs to be kind of the center point for each of your month in review pages. That way they all have a nice consistent look. And then there's also some fun little quotes about journaling on here. And then of course, so a little tagline here about documenting life one month at a time, because my life is worth documenting. So if you want this freebie and if you want to be part of the future live streams, just head over to Patreon. I have it linked in the description, and then you can join for free. And then if you want to join one of the paid tiers to support this channel, which I so appreciate, you'll also get access to all of the stickers that you're probably going to see me use as we head over to my desk and start journaling, because every single month for the monthly journaling club and for anybody to use, you don't have to do month in review journaling to use these. You could just be doing this in your planner or regular journaling, but every single month this year, I'm going to be creating printable sticker collections that are for that month. So they literally are going to be the January collection, the February collection, and so on and so forth. This, of course, is the January collection, and each month my patrons pick the color theme, and I love the colors that we picked for this collection. I feel like it has such a nice like wintry vibe, but also just kind of like renewal. I don't know. I love the colors. You guys did a great job picking those. And every single month I'm going to design the header to be exactly the same style as you see here, but with the different colors for the future months, like colors that you pick out. That is what's going to be in the title for that month. So that way it'll just like be a nice way to tie everything together, and then you'll have lots of fun stickers to decorate your pages. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility, as you said, with how you can use these stickers. I already started using them, and I haven't even started making, obviously, my January review page, but you can see there's some holes because I started putting some in my planner. So my little planner here, let's see if I can find my page. So in my month in review here for like the monthly planner layout, I have a few of the stickers you can see I used to mark the days that are some of the holidays. We have Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday on here. I have Epiphany. So these, I did not actually scale these to fit so perfectly. Like I wasn't thinking about this planner, but if you use a Hobonichi or the common planner, like N2 weeks size, these date stickers fit perfectly in the little windows here for each of the days, which I was really excited to find out. And then the new month, every single month, I'm going to keep making these little stickers, which I think will be really fun, so that every month you'll have like these little stickers for some of the major holidays, but also some of like the fun random holidays. So I also made one, for example, apparently January 2nd, according to the internet, is introvert day. So I have introvert day there for January 2nd. And I'm really excited because you might be able to see in these back pages, I'm trying, so far I'm doing well, I'm trying to get back into a little bit of daily journaling as well, so that way you can capture some of like your just average day moments. I think are always fun to have recorded. I do some of that in my monthly journaling too. It's not always like the big highlights, but I'm really excited about that. So, okay, your comments are coming in so fast and I like can't keep up with them. Let me try and see if I'm missing any questions before we turn around to my desk and just hang out and journal together. So hopefully, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to about how to officially join if you want to do this with us in the future months. And we'll talk more about it as we're journaling here. Oh, I did also want to share that there is a free trial of my most popular paid tier if you're interested in like getting access to the January stickers and learning more about everything that I offer on Patreon. There's a ton of exclusive content over there. And you get access to everything when you join that tier, and you get a 7-day free trial. So definitely check out that option. That would be so awesome to see you over there, and hopefully you will like it so much that you want to stick around after the trial. And then I also wanted to share for current patrons and anybody who is joining and knows that they want to be around this whole year and you're just all in, like you want to be part of that Patreon community. I do have an annual membership that gives you 16% off, but I'm going to only be offering that until the end of this weekend. So on January 8th, I'm no longer going to offer the annual membership. So if you want 16% off or 2 months free and just to pay it all at once and join for the annual membership for this upcoming year, make sure you do that now before January 8th. Okay, I think that is everything I wanted to say, other than if you're new, please subscribe and join the fam officially. And let me just now, let's see, look through some of your comments that I might have missed. So, oh my goodness, it's so fun seeing so many of you guys here. So love that some of you who feel like you're maybe not as artistic say that you love using the stickers and photos and some of the trackers. I'm so glad so many of you guys are saying I'm in and excited about this. And just began your December month at a glance. That's awesome. You definitely don't need to start for January because obviously we're not going to be doing that until the end of the month. You could start right now and wrap up your December or maybe your holiday season. Just do a review page of that. That's a great idea. Some of you are using a new TN insert with a 2-page spread. Belinda is using it in a similar journal and has 2 months that you did from 2023. That's awesome. And some people are using it in their planner. And the double page spread, yes, I had in the past done just a single page. Let me grab that notebook. I think it's this one. So, is it this one? Now I'm second guessing where this, oh yes, it is. So in this journal, this is one example of how I did it, where I just did the pages. I set them up at the beginning of the year. I just put in all of the monthly headers in ahead of time and then just filled them out as the months went by. So that way they were all set up at the beginning of my journal. And then I just did like my regular journaling throughout the rest of this journal. But here you can see I just had 1 month on one page. Whereas this year, as you're gonna see, I did it kind of, the whole title went across both pages and the whole 2-page spread was my month in review, just so that I get all the memories recorded. I have a lot of memories recorded on these pages. It's not like I'm missing out on things, but I have really been enjoying the 2-page spread. I saw a question about where to access the free printable. When you join, there is a recent post, maybe my like second to most recent post, that is, actually I think it's this video. I think it's the live stream. It's this post on Patreon for the live stream. That is where the free printable is attached if you want to go and print that out to use in your own journal. And what sticker paper do I use to print on? That is a great question. And I have some of it here. So I have this one. This is the koala sticker paper. It's inkjet sticker paper, 8.5 by 11. And I get the matte white sticker paper. This is 100 sheets. And I get this on Amazon. I have it linked in my Amazon shop, which is in the description if you want to check that out. To be frank, I don't know that it's the best sticker paper, but it is the cheapest sticker paper that I can find. So that is why I use this sticker paper. For me, like, I'm not selling the stickers as actual physical sheets. So for me, I just want to save as much money as I can. I think the quality is pretty good. This is the koala sticker paper. It comes out fine. So that is what I use. And then, nope, that's not it. I don't know where the other one is, but the other sticker paper that I use is from the brand called Mako, M-A-C-O. And that sticker paper is, I'm sure I have an example. I think, yeah. Again, all my missing pieces from my stickers that I already printed out and cut out. But that sticker paper is transparent, so it's like a matte. If I peel it, you can see, try and peel it back a little bit. You can see that it's transparent. And I really like that sticker paper because it then, when you have illustrations like this, it really just blends into your page. It's kind of like washi tape in that way. It just really melts into the page. So those are my 2 sticker papers that I like to use and would highly recommend. And the printer that I have is an Epson EcoTank 8500. And I love it. It's a great printer, but keep in mind it is, I would argue, on the pricier side. It's not like the cheapest printer in the world. I think it is more for people who are printing all the time. Like if you're always printing, if you print printables a ton, definitely a good printer to check out. Or if you print your own art or anything like that, that is a really good reason to look into that printer. But if you're not printing super, super regularly, then there might be some other options that you would consider looking into. But the EcoTank is so nice in terms of saving money on ink because you don't get cartridges, you get like bottles of ink and then just refill the little wells in your printer. Anyways, it's a whole thing. I'm sure there's other videos that talk about that printer, but that's the one that I use. And for a very long time, for printing my photos, I used a Canon Selfie, and I would still recommend that. Mine, after many, 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 many years, finally gave out on me and had a malfunction. And so I needed to get a new way of printing my photos and decided that I would just upgrade my main printer overall so that I could print photos and printables all in one. But I do recommend checking that out. So yeah, the monthly journal club sticker, yep, I see you said you found it, Sandra, so that's great. And let's see, any other comments? Yes, it is important to note that when doing these types of printable stickers, you do have to cut them out by hand. I personally find it a bit of a therapeutic process. I know some people print them all out. I mean, they obviously print them all out at once. They cut them all out at once, and that's just not me. I am definitely a cut as I go person, as you can see from my my little missing pieces along the way. But yeah, so sorry, you can probably hear in my voice, I have been getting over a cold. You probably could hear it in my last video when I did that recording. You could hear it then too. I've had a cold, horrible cold since Christmas, so it is what it is. But all right, I think that's enough chatting. But feel free to keep putting your questions or thoughts and ideas in the chat, and I will continue to follow along separately. I have my little iPad here so I can see what you all are saying, but we're gonna be here all night if I don't get started on creating a spread or two. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, that is a really good question. What journal do I use? So the journal that I'm currently using is a Dingbats journal, and this size is the B5, I believe. And this journal is, I wonder if it says it. It's like it's very thick paper. I don't know if it does. It's like 168 GSM. I might be making that number up, but it's very thick paper, and I have really been enjoying it. The cover, by the way, if you love the cork cover, I have videos all about these covers. They're from Documented Journey. So if you check out her shop, I have her linked, as well as a discount code if you're interested in getting a pretty cover for it. But yes, it's the Dingbats journal, and I really like it. There's a lot of great pros about it in terms of things not bleeding through literally at all. The fact that the paper is so thick is great when you're adding a lot of weight to it with a ton of photos and everything. My only downside, and this might be partly my own fault, is that sometimes I feel like things struggle to stick to this type of paper for whatever reason. And it might just be that I have not yet quite found the best adhesive to get things to stick to this paper. But I do find that occasionally when I'm gluing or using my double-sided tape for like some of these photos, for example, they sometimes pop up. So I'm not sure why that is. Other things like stickers, all these stickers and everything stick fine, but it's mostly when I'm taping photos or like thicker papers to it. So just bear that in mind. There's no perfect notebook, but there is a good notebook for you. So I definitely recommend shopping around and don't just take my word for what journal you should get. But if you're interested in that one, I do have it linked in my Amazon shop. Okay, let's go tabletop. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea that now is surely cold because I've been talking for a long time. I am drinking a nice decaf vanilla chai. Very much enjoying that. And I'd love to know if you guys are enjoying a nice beverage as we hang out together, or a little snack, and what you are working on especially. I would love to know if you are journaling at the same time, if you just have this on while you are working on your own year spreads, whether you're doing year in review or looking forward to 2024. Looking forward, we're already in it, but personally, I am a procrastinator when it comes to New Year journaling, and I don't believe that you have to have every page ready by January 1st. So this is now, January 4th, and we're finally working on some of those New Year spreads, so it's all good. So I'd love to know if that's you too, if you're still kind of getting set up for 2024. Ooh, barley tea and cutting the stickers. That's a great activity while watching a live stream. A winter spice tea. That sounds really good too. Okay, we are gonna flip you around. Oh, something very exciting. Before we do that, I wonder if I can get this out to show you it. Just because I'm so proud of how it turned out. If you're on Instagram, I shared this in my stories, but for some reason, I just was overcome with a need to like organize my studio, and just all of my like papers and washi and like this whole cart that I have next to me was an absolute mess, and I organized it, and I just want to show you. Look at that magnificent organized washi by color and theme. It is beautiful. So there you go. I have had some requests to share how I organize all of my supplies, and now that I've actually done it and organized some of the things, I can talk about it, and I can tell you about how I organize some of those things. One tip that I would share really quick, I know I'm still talking and haven't turned the camera around, bear with me, but one tip that I would recommend, especially for month in review journaling, is one, have a little tray or like basket or letter tray, something like that, that over time, as the month is happening, you are throwing things that come into your life along the way for that month. So that might be ticket stubs, it might be receipts, it might be like a tag from something you bought that month. Whatever those things are, they can be great ways to jog your memory about what you might want to journal about, but they also can be amazing ephemera to put into your journaling. So highly recommend that. And then the second tip would be to organize some of your supplies. If you are somebody who has a lot of stickers or ephemera pieces, organize them by seasons. So this is my winter pack. Winter, see, I labeled it so beautifully. And this actually originally was like a pack of Creative Memories stickers. There were like 2 sheets of stickers in here, but I had one of these packs for every single season. So I decided that I would just turn these packs into where I keep different journaling cards and stickers and ephemera related to that season. So that way, whatever month I'm in for that season, I'll just get out that season pack and have that kind of by the wayside. So that way I can be looking through here as I'm working in my December entries and pick out some items that would be good for that, because there's lots of like Christmas stickers in here. I've got snow stickers. There's Valentine's Day stuff in here, because that, to me, we're still in winter in February. So that is a tip, is to have those packs. Here, quick, show you my other ones. So I have a Days of Spring one, I have a Days of Summer, and a Days of Winter, and the fall is over there too. So just make little packs. You can do that with like just literally a Ziploc bag and label it for that season and put anything you might want to use. And then when you're in that season, just have that pack sitting on your desk ready to go. That way, like, you're not forgetting tons of supplies that you own and then realize, oh, I forgot I had all those winter stickers because they were, you know, shoved in a drawer somewhere. You can actually make sure that you're using them in your journal for that season. And then I do the same thing with like my main hobbies and the main things that I journal about. So I literally have one for reading, writing, and creating. So any stickers related to those hobbies. Food, you all know, is one of my favorite things to talk about in my journal. What am I eating? What am I enjoying? So it's not everything. It's like I have food sticker books and stuff like that also in my room, but all those like random little pieces that I wouldn't have somewhere to put, I just organize them this way. I have a nature, outdoor, animals, and travel one, and then I often am journaling about coffee and tea and going to cafes. So I literally have tons of little coffee stickers. These are ones from Patreon here. So yeah, that's my big tip to you guys. If you're trying to start this practice, one of the most important things is to have your materials and the things you're going to be trying to use accessible. And so organizing them and then just having them labeled and right there on your desk will make it a lot more easy for you to actually do it. So with that said, now I'm going to turn the camera around and you can see Jean. Oh, her back's turned to you guys, but normally you get to say hello to Cara Genie. I also have here on my desk that I just organized a little bin where I put all my little paper scraps in. So I have that now readily available. And then this is what I mean by like holding on to things throughout your month. I've literally have just been like collecting things in this little bin. Ben got me mushroom tea, not tea, coffee. And so I've really been enjoying that. And so this is just a card with the mushrooms on it. So I've gone ahead and put that in here. We've been going to the gym. So I have that sticker in here and all different other things. So definitely a good practice to get into is just saving all those little ephemera pieces. So if you are very new to the idea of month in review journaling, I'll do a quick little flip through of my entries here. You make sure that it's in frame and you can see everything, hopefully. Yeah, going through your camera roll is a great idea. I just saw your comment, Gabriella. That's something I do at the end of each month is I'll just go through my camera roll from the most recent month, and then that will help me be able to know what I have to journal about. I'm gonna just move you guys up a little bit so that we get this totally in the frame. Nope, not quite. Okay. I think that probably will be pretty good. So here, of course, is all of 2023 in a nutshell. You are going to be so pleased with yourselves at the end of 2024 when you have completed this and you have all of these beautiful memories to look back on, like this right here. Let this be your inspiration going into this year. All you have to do is sit down literally once a month and put those memories to paper. You can do it in a super creative way like I do with lots of photos and stickers and everything, but you also could do it more simply with just writing some highlights. You could do it where you're just kind of literally writing like big titles, like the wildfires happening in Canada. That was something that I put in big title for June. You could be like writing about a big trip you went on. If you like to hand letter, that can be a fun thing to do. I talk about shows that I'm watching and books that I'm reading and favorite moments from events, things that I love about that season. That was a fun thing to do in July. Big trips are always something where I kind of really like to take time to write a bunch of different highlights. Yes, this is the Dingbats journal that I'm in now. This was a fun tutorial that I did in a previous live stream. If you want to kind of know what the live streams will be like, I have a lot of recordings that I did last year on my channel that you can go and watch. But this little shaker card that goes over some of the fun photos with a leaf that I collected from the month of September is in here, so that was really fun. We have October, and these are some of like the pheasant feathers, so pretty. That too is a live stream that you can go back and watch to see how the page was created. I believe November we also did as a live stream. And then December, so sad, isn't finished yet, but it will be, I think, by the end of tomorrow, because then I'm going to be filming an in-depth flip through of these pages for my channel, so you'll have that to look forward to. But already on my channel, if you missed it, I would love for you to go and watch it. I did this fun tutorial of how to make a waterfall card in your journal, which was such a fun addition to this page because I had so many photos from Christmas, and if I had put them all just directly on this page, it would have taken up a lot of room. I basically would have had no room to do any other journaling or writing. So this was a great way to incorporate all of those different photos in. And the nice thing is, because this is such thick paper, it's not going to be too hard for me to write then still on the rest of the journal pages as I continue journaling. And I don't really care personally about adding a little bit of bulk to my journal. But yeah, if you want to see how to make one of these for your own journaling, definitely go and check out my most recent video. That was part of Junk Journal January, which is another really fun challenge. That's a daily challenge just for the month of January, specifically trying to get you to do more like art journaling, junk journaling. But you can apply those prompts to any type of journaling. That's hosted by Meg Journals. So if you're looking for a way to get more into a daily practice, that would be a great one to check out. But the whole idea here for monthly journaling is that, you know, I know a lot of us have tried daily journaling. I did it for an entire year and I love having those to look back on, but there's just some seasons where it is not realistic to do daily journaling. And that is why I love monthly journaling, because it allows me to still have all of the main highlights, all of the big memories that I want to look back on and think on fondly, easily accessible, and I can still access those memories then, and it just jogs your memory basically to be like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, and that was such a special time, even if you don't have all of the details written down about it. It's just still just so special to look back on. And I think the nice thing about these pages is it also is more digestible for other people to look back on, because frankly, like, your regular journal probably isn't something you're gonna pass down to your grandchildren, because they're not gonna want to read hundreds and hundreds of pages of writing. But they might like to look through all the highlights of your life at a glance. At least that's something I would have loved to be able to look back on, you know, from my mom and her mom. So that is what the whole concept is. I hope that you are feeling inspired and encouraged. But today, I just want to do a few pages to introduce the new year. That's what I did at the beginning of 2023. So I just made this little introduction page, Hello 2023, with a nice little quote sticker from my Patreon about documenting your life. And then I did this fun page for Junk Journal January last year of my goals, which was to literally just focus on 3 things: my mind, body, and soul, finishing my novel, which we'll get to in a moment because it did not happen, body, exercising and hiking regularly in preparation for our Mount Rainier trip that we did in August. That did happen. And soul, which was study the Psalms and focus more on prayer. That did happen, but not quite to the extent that I would have liked it to. So you can see I made like a little writing goals page. My reviews at the bottom for each month. The idea is to have a monthly check-in because I'm obviously visiting this journal once a month, and my reviews at the bottom are literally just ugh, still ugh, let's not talk about it, nope. But then in August, after we had done our Mount Rainier trip and I no longer was putting all my effort into that, I did start doing a little bit of writing, but still not making it as much of a priority as I would like it to be. And so that is going to be my main focus for this year, and something I want to make a page about is just all about focusing on writing this year. And then my big focus last year, many of you know, was climbing Mount Rainier. We did it. We successfully summited the mountain, and I did a lot of training to be able to do that. So I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment, but I also acknowledge that there were a lot of things that were just outside my control that allowed that to happen, that were literally just mini miracles. Like even having that window to be able to climb the mountain where the weather was okay was incredible, because we were literally the last people to be able to summit Mount Rainier for the season, because a heat wave came and the next day people couldn't climb it anymore safely. Like that's how much the window was like so important. And of course we had to sign up for it a year in advance. So that is just a huge accomplishment, and definitely something I'm going to be writing about when we do our year in review about what I'm proud of. And then praying more consistently definitely happened more so, but I want it to be even more something I'm digging into this year. And then after those goals pages, then I moved into the month in reviews. So I want to do the same thing for this year, where I have a title page to kind of introduce the new year, and where I would essentially have a place to kind of reflect and look forward with like, what are my intentions and goals for this year. So that is what we're going to work on. I'd love to know what you guys are working on. I think some of you already commented, maybe sharing some of the things that you guys have been planning to do during this. Sorry, just looking through your comments. Okay, so I think after my December entry, the first thing I want to do is have my books in review page. So I went ahead, sorry. Oh, I still like have that tickle in my throat. Like I said, I'm getting over a cold, so thank you for bearing with me. So I printed out all of the books that I read, the covers. That's something I have loved to do, and I do have a video here on my channel that shows you how to take the covers from like Amazon or Google and make a cover review page for your journal in Canva. So if you want to check that out, you can find that here on my channel. Just do a search for reading journal and you'll find that. But the great thing is that recently I've started using, I guess last year is when I started using it, the Storygraph app. And the Storygraph, it's also a website, but they are basically like Goodreads, but they also do tons of like literal graphs tracking your reading. I just printed out this one. But at the end of each year, they do a wrap up of all of the books that you read, and they talk about like what were your favorite genres and how many books by the like different authors did you read, and like what were your star ratings. They just do like all these different graphs. It's really cool. But then they do this awesome chart that literally is this of all the covers of the book you read. So all I had to do was copy and paste this chart that they had already made for me into my Canva, and then I just added some of these book review stickers that I had made a while ago. I think that was a last February's collection. So if you're looking for that, you can find that in the 2022 stickers. If you go to the collections tab, you can find that. It's called the Bibliophile Book Lover Collection. So there's tons of stickers, tons and tons related to that. And these were just some that I had put in here so that way I could not waste paper and I might want to use them. But that's what I did. I just printed those out. I love printing out my book covers for the year and having that to reflect on. And to me, that is another review page that I like to have in my review journal. Hi, Elaine. Welcome. Greetings from Maryland. That's awesome. A 12 by 12 scrapbook, Paulette, would be great for doing monthly journaling. I've also thought about like a square format could be really nice for this type of review spread too. So yeah, if you scrapbook, that you definitely could do review pages in that as well. It doesn't need to be journaling per se. So I'm gonna just make this page really, really fast because it's really just going to be mostly these book covers and my little chart here. And then I think on the right page, I might just use some of those prompts to do kind of like a few reflections on the year, like what I'm proud of from this last year and a challenge I overcame. Like those are some of the prompts that I had on there. So we'll see. Hi, Jody. I'm also from Pennsylvania. I always think it's fun finding out some of you, especially when some of you literally sound like you live like down the road from me, depending on where you are in Pennsylvania. I always think that's so interesting. So I'm thinking I could do this like maybe like there, and then I'm thinking that I will do like a big 2023 reads, and I think I want to list out my top 10 books of the year, like my top 10 favorites. So let me just, I love sticker paper because you can just peel off the back and put it right on your page, no glue required. But I should say that even though my stickers available in my shop and on Patreon, I call them stickers, and do suggest that if you can print them out on sticker paper, you can print them out on regular paper too, and you could use them as journaling cards, or you could just use them as like little die cuts, essentially print them out on regular paper and then just glue or double-sided tape, you know, them into your journal. That works just as well. So now I'm gonna use my favorite number stencil and write 2023. This number stencil is really great if you're working in a larger journal. I mean, it works in a smaller journal too. It just means the number is gonna look really big. But if you're curious about where to get it, because I literally use this all the time, it is also linked, you guessed it, in my Amazon shop. Too many things piled next to me. Okay. So one tip, if you are trying to write something out, whether writing it by hand or using stencils or stamps, and you're trying to get your spacing even, is to start with your first and last, or if it's an even number of letters or numbers, start with the middle one and then work out from there. But because this is 4 numbers, I'm just going to start with the first and last. I think I Oh, I think I said it at the beginning, I hope. My name is Kelsey Lee. That's my first name. It's all one word, Kelsey Lee. I introduced myself in some of my videos, but then, you know, YouTube algorithm and all that, they kind of are like, just get into the meat of your video and don't play around with introducing yourself. So a lot of my newer videos, I don't do like the whole, hi, my name is Kelsey Lee, and welcome to my channel and please subscribe. I don't do that. I just jump into the content, which is great, but then I feel like it does take away from the community aspect a little bit. So yes, my name is Kelsey Lee. Welcome. And yes, for those of you who are joining a little bit late, no worries at all. There will be a replay. You haven't missed much because I've just been yapping for the last like 40 minutes. Just talking. Lots and lots of me talking. So definitely haven't missed that much, but I've had fun. So hopefully you guys have. The website, I see you were asking, that I use to print out the books, it's called thestorygraph.com. It's also an app, and it's very similar to Goodreads, except I think a lot better. You get, like I said, tons of graphs that like show different charts of your reading, which is super fun. They give like really specific book recommendations because they kind of have you take a quiz and like learn about your reading preferences. It's just a really, really awesome app, and it's free. So I highly recommend it. And then you also get a very easy way to add your books in review in your journal at the end of the year. I love it. It definitely is motivating too. So just keep journaling. I think I'm going to write I think I'm going to use my little stamp letters and write books in review under 2023. So I'll get out my VersaFine black ink. And I just have these like sitting in a pile over here because I always fail to put them away. See what letters I'm gonna need. Books in review. Oh. That one smudged a tiny bit. That's okay. Okay, I think I'll fit it. I was debating for a moment if I think it'll all fit, but I think it will. Okay. It's like literally one of 4 letters that I didn't already have out. View. So I think what I'll do maybe is do like a few highlights. So I think I'm gonna write like total books read. Maybe print versus audio. And I think I'll do favorite genres. And then under that, I think I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do these letters again, and I'll write out top 10, and then I'll just number those. Where the P is. Ah, there it is. Top. So the only problem with this is I'm gonna have a bit of an awkward space under here, and then I think on this side I'll write reads. So I might have to get like a cute little book sticker or something on either side. Oh no. Might have to draw in the middle of that E didn't really come out. There we go. Just realized I think it's getting a little sloppy because of my waterfall card under it. It's just adding, like, making it a little harder to stamp. So if you just put something under your page, if you have like some bulky elements on the other side, that'll make it a little bit easier to do your stamping. It's kind of something I don't think about until I've already messed up my stamping, and then realize, oh, that's why I should have started out by doing this on top of something else. But I lost my S. Here it is. Okay, so then top 10 reads, and then I'll have to put like a little sticker or something here, and then I'll just number, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that'll be perfect. I guess we can just continue the stamp look. Time's sake, it would be a lot faster to just write it, but it will look neater if I do this. So this is one where I'm gonna have to push down pretty hard, I think. I think I got these from Obujo. So I do have that shop linked in the description too. That's where I get a lot of my, I don't know, more fun journaling supplies. So if you're just getting into junk journaling, Ellie, I see your comment there. Definitely just holding on to all different types of papers that come into your life. I think one of the best things about junk journaling, oh, that 5 got messed up. That's unfortunate. The best thing about junk journaling is that it really is meant to encourage you to like recycle and reuse things that others would deem undesirable or something that should just be thrown away, and to give it new life and to make it something really beautiful in your journal. So I'm always kind of, anything that comes into my possession, it could be literal junk mail, and if it has a pretty pattern on it, I just kind of save it. So that definitely is an important part of junk journaling. But you also can use supplies that you buy. A lot of people will buy like pretty vintage looking stickers and things like that. Obujo is one of my favorite places for those types of more vintage looking elements. And then for how to like style pages and that kind of thing, I think layering is really a big part of junk journaling. So just playing around with like how all the elements interact and layering papers on top of each other. And then hopefully maybe telling a little bit of a story with all of those different papers. You know, whether that is a memory or just journaling about a quote. So those are some of my tips. Meg Journals, who I mentioned, is hosting Junk Journal January. You probably already know about her, but if not, I would highly recommend. Ow, that like flew out of my hand. Highly recommend you check her out. Okay, that was a bit messy. I wasn't being super careful, so that's on me. But that's okay. It kind of adds that like antique-y vibe that works well for a book page, right? That's what we'll say. Just gonna throw all these to the side because I don't feel like cleaning them. So there are my 10 little numbers that I will use to do my 10 books in review. I'm not gonna waste your time right now writing all of those in here, but I will share, if you're curious, my favorite book of the year. So my favorite my favorite fiction was The Girl from Guernica by Karen Robards. This is a World War II historical fiction, slightly more, I think, in the YA genre, but I just thought the writing was so good. It was one of those reading experiences that I haven't had in a really long time, where whenever I'm doing something else, I'm thinking about how all I want to do is sit down and finish my book. So that was one of my favorites. That's what the cover looks like. Girl from Guernica. And my favorite nonfiction, see if I can remember. Oh, of course. My favorite nonfiction is a memoir. It's All Creatures, Great and Small by James Herriot. Also a fabulous BBC series, or not BBC. Yeah, BBC? It's on PBS. I think it is BBC. The All Creatures Great and Small is a great show as well, and it just follows this veterinarian in Yorkshire. I'm not sure how to say it. And it's like right before World War II that he gets this job as a vet. I really like World War II. There's no World War II in this book, but in the show, because I've watched further than I've read, I think this next season is going to have some of that in it. But it is so well written, and it takes a lot for me to laugh out loud at a book. Like I do not laugh very readily, like especially not aloud at books, but I laughed out loud multiple times. Just like the way that he tells his stories, and it's so wholesome and clean and funny and beautiful, and all of his descriptions, like that was just my favorite book of the year, and then that was my favorite fiction. So those would be my two main recommendations from the books I read, but I also love The Secret Garden. Holy Huga was a really great nonfiction. The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery, I loved that book as well. Yellowface was a really good audiobook. I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it as much reading it in print, but the audiobook was so well done. So those would be some of my recommendations to add to your reading list. I would love to know if any of you want to comment in the chat. I would absolutely love to know what your favorite book of 2023 was. If you have recommendations for me, I'm always looking to expand my TBR list, so definitely go ahead and share that. So now that we've done our books in review, I'll go ahead and write those in later. And then at some point I'll probably put like a little sticker here or something. But now I want to work on my kind of year in review page. I think I'm just gonna like pick a few of these and I'll design it, and then I'll do like my actual thinking and reflecting about those things a little bit later. So this printable is the January journal prompts. This year I'm designing them differently than I have in the past for Patreon. So this year I'm designing them basically as more like headers, or yeah, like just little pieces that you can cut out and use as prompts in your journaling. But because they're formatted like this, I feel like you also could use them less as prompts and more, you could also use them in memory keeping. Like my ideal snow day, that could be used just as a title for a memory, or you could use it as a journal prompt and write about like what would your ideal snow day look like. Same with like a recipe I love to make in the winter. You could journal about memories related to that, or you could literally use that as a prompt to write down a recipe that you love to make. So there's all a mix of different things related to January. I kind of was focused on the idea of winter, the idea of reflecting on the new year and preparing, or reflecting on the past year and preparing for the new year, and also like getting over a sickness. I think I was making these as I myself was sick, and I was like, well, that is part of winter, so that's something that we probably will journal about too. I'm seeing all of your book recommendations come in. I love that. Wow, that is amazing, Paulette, that your dad is a World War II veteran. Thank you for his service. I think sometimes we forget that World War II was not as long ago as it feels. Like the fact that, I mean, granted, they're, soon in another 10 years or so are not going to be survivors probably of World War II. But the fact that there are, still people who served in World War II alive, like that is just incredible. So thank you guys for sharing your books. I can't wait to go through that list and write some of them down on my TBR. So some of the prompts on here that are specifically focused on looking back are this one, 3 lessons I learned. These are, by the way, the journal prompts are scaled to be 4x6, but you could easily blow them up if you wanted them to be a little bit larger. I just printed them as they are, but especially working in this larger notebook, I feel like they look a little small, but that just means I'll be able to fit more on the page. But they're a great size if you are working in a smaller planner for your journaling, or like a B6 for your memory keeping. So these are kind of prompts that you could use throughout the entire month, or I think some of them would be really great prompts to use when you're a little stuck on like how to fill up your month in review page. Thinking about something like a book that's inspiring me, that could be a great prompt to put into your month in review page. Same with like an opportunity I'm ready to take advantage of this year. Definitely want to use this looking back I'm proud of. There's a few things I could talk about in that regard. Ephesians is one of my favorite books of the Bible. I love Ephesians. So that is a great goal. I am currently starting, I already started, since January I already started, doing a reading plan, reading through the New Testament in a year with my church. So I've really been enjoying that. And the nice thing is that it starts in Mark, and I've already studied all through Mark, and have highlighted my Bible a ton, and just, yeah, I made like a lot of notes. So it's been really nice because I've been able to just kind of use those notes to reflect on the chapter that I'm reading each day. So another prompt in here that is reflecting on the past is a challenge I overcame last year. And I think I'm also going to use this one word. That's what I'm trying to say. One word to describe my year sticker. I think that prompt you could really use for either year. You could use it looking ahead and say, like, what word do you want to describe your upcoming year? I know some people like to pick a word of the year. Or you could use it looking back. And in this case, I think I'm going to use it to kind of like look back on what is that word that I would use to describe my year. So these are my little tiny prompts that I'm going to use. And then there's a lot of forward-looking ones that I might use on a future spread. Thank you, Grace. I just saw that you joined Patreon and changed your membership. I'm so grateful for all of you who have joined Patreon or have been patrons for a very long time. I just can't say it enough. It is such a blessing for me and my family, and it is a blessing to this community because it wouldn't exist without you guys, because I would have had to quit YouTube a long time ago if it wasn't for Patreon. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting my channel, and for just being part of the community, because, you know, I love just the community aspect on Patreon, that it feels a little bit more like, yeah, like we're all talking to each other and all participating together, as opposed to YouTube, which is a lot of me just kind of talking at you through a camera. The way that you print this out, I saved it to my phone on their app. I just like held down and hit save as, and I had to save it as a file and then change that file to like a JPEG or a PNG. But it's in your year wrap up, but you have to like have a year to look back on. So you might not yet have this until you have a year to look back on, unless they have taken your Goodreads information and made it so that you can look back on your Goodreads information. If that was added to your account, that might work. Yeah, it's just nice to have a community and be able to all hang out and actually journal together. It's kind of an isolating activity normally. Like, it's not really something people do in community, but I love the idea of actually hanging out and doing it with other people. And it's always nice to know that other people are into like the same hobbies that you enjoy. It's not really a hobby that people will regularly, I don't know, talk about, or you just don't hear as often. It's funny, I always joke about that with Ben, because we literally can go to any party, any event, and he will make an instant friend because they have hunting or fishing in common. Like, or, you know, football teams for a lot of guys, you know, that's a big thing where they go to any get together and there's somebody there that they can connect with over their shared hobby. But meanwhile, little me with my journaling hobby, I have to go to YouTube to find people to connect with. And that's sharing the same thing as me. So I'm just going through my little scrap paper box that I got over here, and picking out some papers to kind of back, I think, my little prompts. I think that would be cute to back these. And some just random little paper scraps. And then I might add, let's see, do a little bit more layering. Ooh, like some of these butterflies could be cute. Like a little quote. I don't know if any of these quotes are going to make sense for any of these prompts. I think these are like really random ones from movies or something. They're kind of like the poorly translated quotes that you're always like, it doesn't sound quite right. Let life be beautiful like summer flowers, and death like autumn leaves. Okay. Once we dreamed that we were strangers, we could wake up to find that we were dear to each other. Yeah, let's see. We'll try one more. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You should use persistence as your good friend. That one's not bad. We'll see. Maybe we'll use it. Maybe we won't. I might use one of these florals, though. yes, that is the other nice thing about the community aspect, is I think it just really, really helps with accountability, and knowing that you have like a place and time to show up for yourself and for your journaling, and that others are right there alongside you doing the same thing, and we're all just committed to getting our memories down on paper. These pretty butterflies. Oh. Maybe I'll just use like 2 butterflies and this thing. Thank you so much for joining, Elaine. That is awesome. I hope that you are already enjoying using the printables. Yeah, aren't these butterflies pretty? I know. I love them. Butterflies are always, like, you can't go wrong with a butterfly on your page. Butterflies were kind of my mom's thing, so they always make me think of her too, which is nice. Okay, so we have, I think I want like the one word to describe my year, kind of more at the top. Maybe I'll, I don't know if I want this one. So I always am not as big of a fan as these like more reflective stickers. Like I like when they kind of just blend in. How cute is this little box my dad got me? It says "Going Where the Wind Blows." And I was like, this would be perfect for storing all of my all my little botanical stickers. So I just kind of have thrown them all together in here, and that way I can sort through them and just like pick out one that I think will work for a page. I think this one might be good. Maybe like that, and then, oh, I lost it. Oh, there it is. So it's kind of gonna have a different aesthetic than what's happening over here, which I try not to let bug me, but it does. I have to admit, I like visual consistency between the two sides, even though they aren't directly related to each other. So I think it's just because there's so much like bright colors because of the books chart, and then this feels so like muted and more like vintagey. But maybe I will just try to get over that. I don't think it would fit. I'd love to write like what a year. I think that's gonna be too big to do that. So maybe I'll just hand letter it. Okay. Thinking something like this, and then maybe this should go up here. And then I'll just like write my little reflections around it. I might do like little arrows or something like that to point to where they are. Yeah, I definitely like that better under. Okay, I'm just gonna start putting some things down, and we can always add and modify. Oh, I like that title of Less and More in 2024. That's great. I'd like to choose like a verse of the year. I talked about that in my vision board video that I did, a prayer board with my patrons on the Abiding Faith tier. And that is available now for everyone if you want to watch it. But the live stream is just for patrons on that tier and up. But I haven't yet figured out what I want that verse to be. So I think it'll come to me in time. So one word to describe my year, and I'll probably do like it big, like written here onto the brown piece. This is always kind of interesting trying to tape down this type of paper because it's like see-through. So then we'll have three memories. Okay, come on. The next hour of this live stream will be me trying to peel this sticker back off of the sticker. Oh, I almost got it. It's so close. I know, this is when you say, why don't you use tweezers? And I say, I don't know. They're literally in this room somewhere if I wanted to. I usually take 2 hours for the live stream. It just typically works out that that is the amount of time that I end up spending on a month in review spread, especially when I'm talking and kind of walking through the process. It's usually a little quicker if I'm just working on it by myself. But yeah, I typically do 2 hours. Thank you, Deb. It was fun hanging out with you. Yeah, it's a late night where you are. I totally get it. Yeah, so typically 2 hours is what you can count on. I try to wrap it up by that point, even if I haven't done everything that I want to, just because I want to be respectful of everybody's time. And like I said, I always will have the recording available, so you can always watch it after the fact. Although the live stream is always going to be for patrons only, including free. You can, again, I can't repeat that enough, you can join for completely free, but that is where you'll access the link, is on my Patreon each month. And then I will keep the live stream recording on Patreon ad-free for 48 hours, so 2 days ad-free watching and enjoying for everybody who is there on Patreon. And then after that 48 hours is up, and after all my patrons have had a chance to catch up with the recording, then I will add it to YouTube for anybody to watch. But at that point, I will turn on monetization, which means there will be ads. So, you know, if you want to participate in the live, and if you want to watch the recordings ad-free, then the best thing to do is just join for free over on Patreon, or check out the free trial or one of the other tiers if you want to check out some of the stickers. I think I'll do like one, like for the lessons I learned, do like 1, 2, 3. It will be really fun to kind of think about these. I think, again, it would be so hard to reflect on this last year if I did not have my month in review pages, because with those pages, I can kind of like literally look at my life at a glance from this year and figure out, okay, like what were my favorite memories of all the ones that I've recorded here? And I can think about, you know, like what did I learn from everything I experienced? And what is a challenge that I overcame? So I can't imagine trying to do that reflection. Oh, we're so close. We almost got it. There we go. Do that reflection without having done some kind of journaling already to record even what happened in the year. I love these little vignettes though for these. I think they're really cute. In Queensland, that's awesome. 11:36. I was in Australia for 4 months for a summer in college. And so I remember that time difference well. It was always a struggle trying to kind of talk to people back home. But in some ways it was nice because it was just at least kind of had a lot of the same, I don't know, daytime, as opposed to like a 6-hour difference or something. Okay, and then back, I am proud of. Thanks for watching, Coralie. I hope I'm saying your name right. You'll have to correct me in a future live stream for how to pronounce it. So I'm gonna, I think, call this page good. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and write like my one word here, probably do my 3 favorite memories. Down the side here, I'll do 1, 2, 3 for lessons I learned, like 1, 2, 3, and then challenge I overcame, and then something, or a challenge I overcame maybe there, and then something I'm proud of, and then maybe do like little arrows to point to each of them. Ah, that's smart, Elaine. I never thought of that. That's a great tip. She said to cut a little slit in the back of the sticker with a knife, or I guess like the edge of your scissors, and then it makes it a lot easier to peel it off because you can just split it in half as opposed to trying to struggle with the edge, as you guys saw me do over and over again. So that'll be my reflecting on 2023, and then the blank page of a brand new year, 2024. So here is where I want to use my printables. So if you haven't seen these already, these are the January collection that you'll get access to when you become a patron on a paid tier. And so these are the stickers that I'm going to be using a lot during the month in reviews. I'm so excited. I can't wait for our live stream in February. It's going to be February 1st, by the way. That happens to be the first Thursday of the new month. So that works out perfectly. So February 1st, we're going to be reflecting on January together. And I can't wait to do that with these stickers. As you can see, I really couldn't wait because I already used some of them. But what I did for those of us who want to kind of get kick-started with 2024 is I made this freebie, as I said. So you can print this out, and I think this is what I'm going to use to just do like a hello 2024. And then I'll probably just put this monthly journaling club sticker right on here. So I might just cut out this whole thing and put that right on this page. And then if you wanted to, if you're not on the paid tiers and don't get access to these titles, I have these titles for you that you could use if you wanted for each of your review pages. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put this right here and just do like a hello 2024. And then maybe I'll use one of these journal quotes. I guess I'm just gonna have to cut this in half. Set these to the side for the future. So this will be just like that, 2024. And maybe, so I guess this is kind of like the same concept as what you were saying with the slit, which does make it a lot easier because this paper has a slit in it. So it is a lot easier to peel off. All right, let's see how well we can center this. Looks pretty straight. I did use the matte sticker paper for this one. I mean the matte transparent one, so you can see it just like blends in right onto the page, and you can actually like see the dots through it, so it kind of looks more like you just wrote that onto the page. For our monthly journaling club. Love it. Okay, and then I think I'm going to use this one. There's 4 really great journaling related quotes on this free printable. This one is one of my favorites, but it's a little bit more kind of down. I don't know, not down, but it says, "There is, of course, always personal satisfaction of writing down one's own experiences so they may be saved, caught and pinned under glass, hoarded against the winter of forgetfulness." And it's just so beautifully written. I love that quote by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. But I think this quote is going to be the most appropriate for kind of introduction to 2024. It says, "Your journal will stand as a chronicle of your growth, your hopes, your fears, your dreams, your ambitions, your sorrows, your serendipities," by Kathleen Adams. So that is what I'm going to use. Hi, Carol. Welcome. If you're joining in late, no worries. You can watch the recording afterward. It will be available here. And thank you to everybody who's sticking with me. I know 2 hours is a pretty long time to be committing to a live stream. But the hope is that when we're doing the month in review pages, that you all will be working on your pages at the same time. So it's not really, you're not just sitting there watching me journal, hopefully. Of course you can do that, but the idea is that we'll all be journaling together. And so by the end of the live stream, you will have something to show for it in the form of your own month in review. Okay, so there we go. So I like that. I think that's like a nice, simple introduction page. Doesn't need like, I don't think I'm even gonna write like, hello 2024 or anything like that. I'm just gonna do 2024 monthly journaling club, and then our nice little quote about the power of journaling. So that is great. And then on this side, I think, I don't know. I think what I want to do is do like my main priority for the year. So as I said, I want to pick a verse. So like a verse of the year, my priority for the year, which I kind of alluded to, is that I want to focus on my writing this year and just pick one thing. You know, I've narrowed things down a lot. In past years, I have a great goal setting video here on my channel where I mapped out all my goals, like 10 different goals with like all my like great ideas of how I'm going to accomplish it in a year, which was awesome. But I just really think I need to like narrow it down everything I'm trying to do, and at least I have like one main focus. And I started to do that in 2023 by having 3 focuses. So my writing, hiking and getting ready for Mount Rainier, and praying and Bible study, and just like working on cultivating my faith. But even so, I still had to like pick and choose among those things to a certain degree. Not entirely, but I don't know. I just think the word priority is very interesting, because priority means one, like you are choosing one thing. But then we try to turn priority into a plural and say priorities. Like, what are my priorities? And ultimately, you can only like pick one thing. Now, granted, like my relationship with God and my faith is always going to be a number one priority and always something I'm trying to cultivate. But in terms of like how I'm spending my time, I just find that as much as I try to say writing is my priority, it isn't actually. Like, my life does not reflect that writing is my priority, because that's not what I spend most of my time doing. Honestly, it probably looks like YouTube is my priority, because that's what I spend a lot of my time on. So that is just something I'm thinking about a lot going into this year, because if you've been with me for a while, then you know that for several years, I have been saying that this is the year I am going to finish my book. I am working on my 3rd novel, and it is a series. It's a trilogy, which means it's been a long time before this 3rd one has come out, because it's not done. I have like 6 chapters left of it. I've just like been holding off writing it for no real reason other than not committing the time and effort and not actually making it a priority. So all that to say that this little typewriter sticker, which is part of the Document Your Life collection, if you're trying to find it on Patreon, you can search for Document Your Life sticker collection, and this should come up for you guys. There's some really fun ones in here about documenting your memories, and I love this one. I'm a journaler. I make memories last forever. What's your superpower? I thought that was cute. So those are available for you. So I want that to be like a goals page. So I'm probably going to do that on this. And then do my verse of the year, my main priority, and maybe like a little mini letter to myself, or a quote about kind of what I'm hoping for from this year. And then on this page, I'm going to do my 25 by 2025, which is just a list that I created in my notes app. It's not totally complete yet, but I divided it up into 5 different sections with 5 things that I want to do in each of them. So they're basically all things that I've been putting off doing, or have been saying like, we need to do that, or I want to do this, and I just haven't. And so it's a good way to just be like, here is your checklist for the year. Let's actually do the things we say we want to do. So one of the categories is house projects. So we need to get our kitchen renovated. We've been saying that forever. We still have to paint our hallway. It's every other room we painted before we moved in, except for our hallway, which is still the ugly like Pepto-Bismol pink color that the house was when we moved in. I can just show you it, I guess. I have it here on my iPad. 25 before 2025. We have a declutter and organize section. There's boxes in our basement that have been there since we moved in of things I want to donate, things I want to do for self-care, like paint this big artwork that I have just sitting in my studio forever, finish writing my book, and then some travel experience stuff that I want to do. And then I'm working on like a miscellaneous task list. So anyways, that is what I'm going to do on this page. And then I think I'm gonna do some more of the journal prompts for January, some of the New Year prompts. Like one place I wanna go this year, and an opportunity I'm getting ready to take advantage of. This year I will, this year I pray. So I'm gonna do those similar to how I did it on this page. I'm gonna do those on this page. So that I think is where we're gonna end it. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how I'm gonna finish setting up 2024. Let me turn the camera around as we say our goodbyes. There we go. Yeah, so that is how I'm going to finish up my New Year planning. I hope that you enjoyed this. I know it was a little bit more reflection of the New Year planning just because we ran out of time and because I did spend a lot of time talking at the beginning, but leave a comment with a little journal if you are going to be participating in monthly journaling club. Let me know if you are excited. What type of journal are you using? Are you new to this practice? Have you been doing it for a while already? I would just love to hear from you in the comments. Do give it a thumbs up so more people can find the monthly journaling club. Make sure you're subscribed. You know the drill, all that. And do make sure that you head over to Patreon. It's patreon.com/myabidingjournal, and you just hit join for free and sign up, and then you'll get notified when all of my new videos come out. You'll be able to access all of the free printables. So if you go to collections and click the free printables box, there are all of the posts where I have free printables for you if you want to play with some of those. And then of course, you will get to participate in our monthly live streams for the club. So do head over there and sign up. I can't wait to journal with you this year. It is going to be so much fun. And most importantly, the most important part is the process. It's just a fun process to reflect on your memories each month. But I think one of the best things is getting to look back on these memories years later. Like, can you imagine how special this is going to be 10 years from now to have multiple years of highlights of your life and to kind of see how your journey of life has progressed over time? How amazing will that be? It will be so special. So I hope that you will participate. It is not a lot of time you need to commit for monthly journaling. Once a month, 12 pages. You can do it. I believe in you, and we're going to be doing it together. So I will look forward to seeing you for our first month in review live stream for January. Again, that is going to be February 1st. That is a Thursday, and it is going to be the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I will look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, I hope that you will enjoy all of my YouTube videos coming out and leave some comments on those because I love getting to interact with you throughout the month too. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out for this launch party, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.